Guys, Romie here, so please like, comment, subscribe. This is the review for Growing Up Hip Hop Season 2, Episode 8. Denial ain't just a river in Egypt. The episode starts off, of course, with Kristinia and TJ seeing that Andre was lip locking with some other dude, and so Andre comes out of nowhere and it's just like, oh guys, it wasn't what it looks like. We were just feeling each other out. We were just vibing. I'm like, what the hell is that? What's with this whole vibing thing? Vibing, okay. So they're like, oh, yeah, right, cool, whatever. Because they're like, oh, I had no idea. I'm thinking, y'all two need to stop it. Y'all need to stop it. We know what it is. Wow. And when I say we know what it is, we know that there's at least something, whether it's full on or just vibe, there's something. And the reality is, he's rich. We don't care. We don't care. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. So, next we have Egypt. She's in the studio with Boogie. And, you know, she has this song. She has her little lyrics down. She's taking this seriously. I'm like, okay, this is cute. But she's kind of remind me of Ariana Grande in the sense of enunciation. So I'm like, because Boogie's like, we have some stuff to improve. But, you know, she came prepared. She's serious. I do like the music behind it, though. I do like the music behind it. I'm like, this could be something. This definitely could be something. It's not bad. It definitely could be something. But here we go, Egypt. She's having a good time until Peppa goes and calls her. And she has this look of, oh my gosh, it's my mom. And he's like, so what's the problem? She doesn't know I'm here. It's like, oh God. So you're going to go and wrap me into this mess? Really? I thought we were cool. She goes, takes a phone call. She lies and says, oh, you know, I'm signing college application stuff for, what'd she say, Montclair? That's here in New Jersey. So I'm going to go and say Montclair. It's like, oh, I'm so proud of you. Like, thanks, Mom. Hangs up the phone. It's just like, look, I'm sure once we're done, everything will be cool. Boogie's like, I did not want to be involved in this BS. Then we have Briana, and Briana is meeting up with a lawyer to see what she can do with this restraining order, because the original one that she had expired, and now the guy's trying to convince her, her lawyer is trying to convince her to go and put up a new one. She's just like, oh, you know, and while they're talking, Iman, who is her ex-boyfriend, well, for now, ex-boyfriend, gives her a call. She's looking at it like, oh, and it's like, oh, how much has he been calling you? This is like the 9th time today. I'm thinking this just recently happened, so it makes sense that he's still trying to call her to try to explain and apologize, even though we're all like, no. And the lawyer's like, if you have the restraining order, even if he called you, they could go and put out a warrant for his arrest. She's not sure. She's like, you know, people make mistakes. I'm like, oh God, no. She's not gonna really do mistake. A mistake is, oh, I'm sorry, I ate the last cheeseburger. Oh, I was really tired and I got in your car and drove, and instead of mine. Oh, not, oh, I hit you and destroyed the whole house and then left. That's not a mistake. No. Especially since this wasn't the first time. No. So then the guy was like, well, you know, she was like, well, you know, people in love. He said, what type of love is that? What type of love is that? It's like, love also includes not hurting the people that you're with. I'm like, and she gets a text from Kristinia, and Kristinia's just like, so when can we hang out? Or maybe she's trying to see when we can hang out. And you know, Kristinia's like, I have to go crib shopping with Angela, but then the next day we can hang out. It's like, okay, cool. Kristinia is trying to perform right now, or get ready for her rehearsal for something. She never said what, actually. She was just vocalizing, and because of the stress that's going on, her voice is very hoarse. I'm like, okay, cool. It is what it is. So she talks to, I believe, her manager about the situation with her father, which of course she knows, but it's just reiterating how bad it really is with him. And him relapsing, and that was the last thing that she honestly expected. I'm thinking, that was the last thing you honestly expected? You know your father. She gets a phone call, and it's from, oh, is it Andrea? Or Andrea? Her cousin. I remember, she said that she was leaving her father with her cousin. And I'm thinking, Lord, if the cousin's calling to say that he sold all the stuff for crack, I'm done. I'm done. But no, she goes and calls, and it's like, Kristinia, and the phone conversation was so awkward. I'm like, do you two talk regularly? Because it didn't seem like you two do. Maybe it's because of the subject matter, but I was like, okay. So here's the lowdown. I had to call the police on your father because he was in the bathroom smoking crack around my children. So that was a no-go, and he was acting crazy, of course, because he was under the influence. I'm thinking, yeah, that actually makes sense. So she's just like, I'm sorry, but I had to call the police. Kristina's like, oh, God, Jesus, really? Really? And she said, no, you did the right thing. You absolutely did the right thing. Because she says, you know he's not supposed to be doing what he did. And because he did what he did, you call the police. It's the law of physics. Everything has an equal and opposite reaction. Whatever. You know what I'm talking about. And she's over it, but she didn't look that surprised because, again, he relapsed. So I'm thinking, Kristinia, you need to get your father off of TV right now. And I understand he's in jail, so it doesn't even matter. But he needs to get off of TV. He doesn't need to come back on. We don't need to even see him if he's doing well. We just don't need to see him anymore because he's making himself look worse. He's making you look crazy for having him on TV. Like, no, I understand what you're trying to do. I understand you're trying to create this comeback story. It's not happened. So this is where you go and you put your foot down and say, no, I'm not doing this. This is too much. We don't need this type of storyline. We do not need this type of storyline. But I will say, Kristinia, I feel like she's to get an extra producer credit because she's almost in like everyone's storyline, kind of moving things along. Like, oh, so that's da, and oh, and that's why you feel that. Because people on the show don't seem to know how to express how they're feeling. I understand that's kind of real life. That's how a lot of people are. But you can't go and have cameras there and be like, oh, well, oh, it's just like, no, open your mouth and say what's going on. Romeo's in with the fact that he still has Leela and she's a partier. He's just like, well, you know, she makes hits. What's his version of hits? That's what I want to know. Like, I'm assuming their music is big in the West Coast, which it can be. Look at how in Atlanta, you can be a superstar in Atlanta and no one know who you are anywhere else. So they could have huge music in LA and it just not be recognized here in the East Coast, at least for now. And he's just like, look, I need you to tone it down a little bit. She was like, okay, but can I invite just like one to two, maybe three people over to the studio? We can have a good time. He was like, okay. I'm thinking, Romeo, don't do it. You're smarter than this. We're both Leos. You're smarter than this. Come on now. It's just like, the party never hurt nobody. Yeah, it hurts your business. It definitely hurts business when it's not the business to party. At some point, you're supposed to have have it separated. Egypt goes and meets up with Peppa, and Peppa's irritated because Peppa, of course, this isn't Peppa. Oh, she just got the phone call about Egypt missing her interview for one of the schools down there. No, that's not what it was. It was she was replaying the voicemail so that we could hear it, and so then Egypt sits down and Peppa's just like, oh, so how was your interview? And Egypt was like, oh, it was actually hard because they asked me this question. It was like, say 3 things about yourself or 3 words about yourself. And Peppa's just like, oh, and that was hard? Girl, you just thinking too much. It's like, no, because I was just super nervous. It's like, Pep said, oh, I have 1 word. Liar. And then she went into it and said, I don't know what you're doing out here, but you need to tell me right now because clearly it's not school. And she said, you know, I was just nervous. I just didn't feel comfortable. And of course, these are all really dumb excuses because Peppa knows her daughter. She knows that doesn't even make any sense coming out of her mouth. So now we have to think about, okay, why is she really saying this? Why does she really feel this way? Well, we know it's because she's been in the studio. She still didn't let it be known yet because she was smart. Peppa probably came across the table, turned off the camera, and came across that table. Like, You're not gonna do it? Because you know when she's irritated, she's like, oh yeah, please like, comment, subscribe. In the recording studio, and Romeo's looking at it like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. Ass everywhere, and it is just a good time, but Leela has a little bit too much going on around here, and because that's kind of what the song's about, so it made sense. And then once the song was finally done, or Romeo done performing it for us, since I'm sure it was already overall done already, and he was just kind of doing a mini performance to us to kind of see what type of music he's doing. The producer was irritated and over it and was texting Master P the whole time saying, well, you know, Romeo has some people over, I'll let you know what's going on if it gets crazy. Well, it did get crazy, and at first I was like, come on, man. Come on, you know what this is about. But no, he doesn't. He's an actual engineer. He's an actual professional. So the equipment, he had to go and actually take the cups of alcohol off of the board so that it wouldn't splash onto the board. I'm thinking, okay, Romeo, this is where the fun and the business need to split, because that is, what is that, like $50,000 or $100,000 worth of equipment that's about to be messed up because of some idiots that don't even have a day job. Come on now. So he takes Leela out, because Master P texts Romeo after the engineer's like, I'm out, this is crazy. This is like, what are you doing? The engineer's trying to walk. So he goes, takes out Leela, and she's like, well, you know, we partying, we vibing, we having a good time. Like, if I hear vibing one more time, and mind you, her eyes, because I'm not even paying attention to Romeo, I'm paying attention to her and her eyes, just like, oh my damn. Is she that lit? How long has this been going on? Well, she probably pre-gamed before she even went in there. But she's doing a little bit too much. There's definitely no professionalism there. Regardless if you make music that people like, you can't be just partying and BSing all over the place. That's not how this works. So he's just like, clean up a little bit. But she was like, I don't have to. You already accepted me the way that I am. Vanessa and Angela go crib shopping, and everything's all well and good until Kristinia comes. And it's not because Kristinia is there, because Kristinia says the fact that her father relapsed and he's back in jail, and Angela's just like, oh, yeah, you're actually going through some stuff. Sorry. So again, another moment when Kristinia is moving a story along where Vanessa and Angela are talking about the baby shower, and that their sister in New York has pretty much planned the whole baby shower, and Vanessa feels left out. And once Angela goes to the restroom, now we see her, Vanessa, talk to Kristinia, and Kristinia is like having to pull this scene out of Vanessa. That's when I'm like, she better be getting a good check, because she's doing a lot of the work if you actually see it. She's like the person that's like, oh, so this is what you, and this is what you, and this is how you feel? Oh, I understand. I understand. That'll be me. That's why I need 2 checks. Anyway, Vanessa's just like, yeah, you know, I felt a certain way, because if I do how Vanessa was saying it, this is going to take too long. She's such a nice person. She doesn't really want to make a big deal out of it. But no, make a big deal out of it. She's your sister, and you thought you were supposed to be helping her out, so she's going to have another idea. Maybe she can go and do something in LA with her LA friends. And like, that actually makes sense. That makes sense, because sometimes you don't need to have everything together. Sometimes you really don't. And especially if you want to do things your way, then you really don't need to have everything together. So Kristina's like, oh yeah, I'm definitely on board. Whatever you need, I'll definitely join, be like on the committee to get this going. Again, Kristinia has another scene with Briana. See where I'm going with this? Briana is talking about her situation with her dude. She's back, of course, from New York, and she just wants to move forward. Kristinia lets it slip about, not lets it slip, but she tells Briana about the whole watching Andre kiss some dude, and Briana's just like, wait a minute, you waited until now to tell me? This is amazing. You waited until now to tell me? Like, I'm not really surprised, but the thing is, he shouldn't be trying to hide it, because at this point, there's a lot of hip-hop dudes that be doing the same thing, and they're just on the DL about it, and so people shouldn't be going after him, because they need to go and look in the mirror, and because a lot of them are doing something. And I'm like, yeah, that's how we all feel about that. We know that there's definitely a lot of truth to it, whether it's if they're gay, bi, whatever, that there's something extra for some of them, at least more than they're letting on. Because you hear the stories and then you hear the real version of the stories afterward. It's just crazy sometimes. But Kristinia was over it when she found out that Briana wasn't sure if she was going to redo the restraining order. She had this look of, what the... Kristinia said, it had to happen to me. It had to happen to me once. I called the cops. Restraining order. Him in jail. Like, no, we don't play those games over here. It's just like, well, you know, love and being with someone for so long. I'm not sure if I can just break it off because we were friends. And Kristinia's like, no. What is wrong with you? And that's what we're all thinking. Like, we saw what actually happened. It's different if it's just like, okay, it happened and we didn't see it, so our opinion could be skewed just from you verbally talking about. No, we saw it happen and we're over it. Just like you should be over it. They go meet up with Andre and they start the painting. And I'm thinking, okay, Briana's painting something cool. Andre's painting something cool. Kristinia's painting something that I would paint because it's like, I'm not an artist, but I can make some circles. I can go back and forth, horizontal, vertical. Whatever. And the conversation shifts because I thought maybe they were going to go and talk about Kristinia and, again, her father and the drug issue, and I didn't want to hear that. But no, it flipped from that to Briana and her situation with her dude. It's just like, I'm not sure what I'm going to do. And they're both just like, we love you. We don't want to see anything happen to you. And then it goes to Andre. Because Briana's like, look, Andre, I know what's going on. I don't know the full details, but what's you with this lip locking with some dude? He's just like, you don't know my situation. It didn't look like how it looked. We were just vibing. It was like, look, you need to be who you are, because trust me. And I'm sure she's probably saying that she had her own female situations, Briana. I understand, and you don't have to go and sugarcoat anything with me, sweetheart. So it is what it is. You need to go and just live your truth instead of trying to live the truth that other people want you to live. And I was just like, this is such an uncomfortable scene. You know, shout out to Angela, because Angela's pregnancy shoot looked great, and I'm sure she'll appreciate doing it and all that. Oh Lord, but it was awkward because Andre's just like, look, you don't know my situation, you don't know my life. She's just like, yeah, I don't know how it is to be in your shoes, but trust me, I know how to be in the female version of your shoes almost. And the whole time I'm still thinking, where's Ken Do? Not Mary J. Blige, because that's her stepdaughter, but where's Ken Do? Where is he? Let him come and get his daughter, because too much is going on. Like, this is good for TV, but too much is going on right now. So she goes and leaves because she gets a call from Iman, her ex, and she's like, I want to speak, I want to talk. I'm like, oh God. Master P is trying to talk to Symphonique and try to see the direction she's trying to go with in her career. And he's also trying to let it be known, I can't have you around Leela because Leela is a mess. I don't care what type of hits she creates. Romeo comes in and he's like, I need to go to the gym, do some stuff for the activewear line. And Master P reams into Romeo. It's like, you're still working with Leela after I told you not to, after I told you that she's a party animal. By the way, let me know if you want me to review LA Hair, because it's so funny, but it's almost like a show where, how do you even review it? It's just like maybe a quick recap to let you know what type of foolery is going on. Maybe I'll do quick recaps for LA Hair. Yeah, that's what I'll do. Because I do love that show. It's funny. It's really funny. And Master P is just like, I'm not going down for no B. I'm like, what? When did she become? How much clout? How much? I get it. She's representing your brand if she's a No Limit artist, but it is what it is. And Symphonique's just like, I'm gonna shut up and look cute and not say a word because I know he is pissed. He is pissed for real. This is for cameras. Kristinia and Boogie come over to Briana's house, and she looks great. She looks happy. She looks like she moisturized. And the thing with that is, they're just saying, like, so what's going on? What, the restraining order? Like, what are you planning to do? She says, oh, well, I'm not really sure what I want to do right now. I'm not really sure what my plans are. And Boogie's over. He's just like, I don't want you to die. I want you to live. You can't be with that guy. You're crazy. You're crazy right now, and I don't support you. I don't support what you're trying to do or what you're trying to tell us you're trying to do or all about, because Kristinia's just like, this needs to be a one and done thing. This is all because Briana is saying, I'm not really sure if I'm really done with the situation. Kristinia had this, I've never seen her have this look. She had this look of, turn off these damn cameras, because we need to have a real conversation right now. Like, I'm not trying to be cute anymore. Like, let's go. Because you're playing with me right now. You're doing a little bit too much right now. You need to stop with the BS right now. Chill out right now. Next thing we know, we hear the door, rustling of the door, and it's Iman. Boogie's like, oh god, if I was a different type of dude, I would have already went up and swung on this man. Because the fact that he's actually here and he has a slight grin on his face, I'm like, where's my baseball bat? Why did production let him come? See, this is some of the crazy stuff. I'm like, what the? How do you let this happen? I understand she's allowing it, but still, you have to put your foot down somewhere. Everyone's over it, and I agree with both Boogie and Kristinia. You crazy and you stupid for doing this. I understand. You're just like, we're friends first. Now, restraining order, getting him arrested. I'm not trying to do that. Okay, fine. But just tell him, stay away from me. We had something. You messed up. It's over. Let's just move on. We're not friends. We're not acquaintances. Let's just move on. If he doesn't want to do that, then you go and say, I'm going to get either some goons or the police. You let me know which one you prefer. That's all I have to say.